Hi everyone, this is Melissa the Stamp Doc, and today I've got a very fun card for you featuring a Starburst background technique. I'm going to be using the Animal Outing stamp set and the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper. So I've cut my strips to 2 inches by 6 inches. This is a great technique to use if you have a lot of scraps of pattern paper because you can really use just about anything. You're going to use your paper trimmer to cut your strips diagonally. Now I line mine up into the little track and then just slide that trimmer across. So you're going to do this with about 5 or 6 of these strips to fill a standard size card. And you'll be able to use both sides, so feel free to mix and match your papers however you like. This particular designer series paper, the Animal Expedition, is on special during the month of July 2018 for buy 3, get 1 free. And I've got some other samples using sale paper that I'll be sharing with you at the end. So once you have all of your paper cut, now you're going to want to lay out your design. So I always start with my middle piece, and then I just place the rest of them in order around there. Now once you get them all set, you may find that you want to switch them around a little bit, and that's fine. Just come up with a pattern that is pleasing to you. But you want to point them all towards that center mark, and it's okay if they hang off just a bit too, because we're going to trim that down once we're done. But once you figure out how you want that positioned, then just set those pieces aside and we'll be ready to start. So I add a little bit of adhesive to those, and then I'm going to place my first one, and I use my paper snips to trim off the excess. So you're going to repeat that all the way around. Just add your adhesive, place your strip, turn it over, and trim that off. You can also trim it at the very end if you prefer. Once you get to the very end, you'll do your final trim. And again, you can do this with your paper trimmer if you prefer. I just like not to have stickiness on my paper trimmer when I get done. And there's your completed one. So now we're ready to stamp the focal point. I'm using black memento ink on the rhinoceros image, and I'm stamping it on the Animal Expedition Designer Series paper. I'm going to use the Animal Friends framelits die to cut that out with the Big Shot. And then I also trimmed off with my paper snips the little bird image. I just wanted to have the rhinoceros only. I cut a Whisper White circle from the Stitch Shapes framelits die that I'm going to add that to. Then I'm going to take a piece of Daffodil Delight stitched ribbon, and I'm just folding it back and forth. This is a great technique if you don't want to tie a bow but want to use ribbon. I'm going to tack it down with just a little bit of snail adhesive, then add some dimensionals to the back of my image, and once I put that in place, it will hold the ribbon down for me. And if I need to adjust that, I can do that. Next, I'm going to stamp the greeting, and this is also in that same stamp set. So it's a great mix of stamps and images. I placed dimensionals on the back of the Starburst background and on the back of the focal point, and I'm adding that to my card base. I'm using Whisper White cardstock, and it measures 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2. And then as a final touch, I'm adding just a few of the glitter enamel dots just to add a little bit of sparkle. And this is the finished card. Like I said, I did several other samples using this same technique, and I will be sharing those on Facebook, Instagram, and on my blog. So be sure to follow me there so you can learn more about each one of these cards. All of the papers shown here are included in that buy 3, get 1 free special that is going on through the month of July. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe.